IvorysSoulsJourney Tarot. I tried to go live Friday twice. So one, one, and they just wouldn't let me. So I'm gonna get this video here. It's really more of a kind of like a conversational live stream, more so than actually doing a reading. So if y'all can hear me, let me know. I know it's late, busy weekend. But Friday I wanted to do this video. That's why I didn't change the time. Um, Plus I had already did the what they call it, thumbnail. So we went with what we had. What's up? Now this live stream, just like any other, is intended for information, clarification, and confirmation only, mixed with a little entertainment. So folks, just take what resonates, ignore the rest. Always follow your own divine intuition, especially when you're making life-changing decisions. You're interested in a session with me, the email is in the description box. Want to support the message or the messenger? The Cashapp, PayPal is in the box. Where y'all checking in from? Okay, so we got some folks up. What's up, Starry? We got some. This is Starry. We got a couple of people up. Okay. Now, I am here in Houston, Texas, in the Galleria district, and it's 1 a.m. And so far we've been in going. This is a small platform channel, but when I look at the percentages, the analytics, I'd say 10,000 subscribers. And then you have, within 24 hours, based on the algorithm, the first 24 hours, if you get 10% of the people or 10% viewership, that's huge. If you get 80% of the live viewers to watch your live stream from start to finish, as opposed to just come and they'll watch a few minutes and then they gone. Viewership. So I've been kind of paying attention to the analytics. However, what I've also been paying attention to is certain videos that I do, certain live streams, that's not talking about tarot, folks. So only 10% of y'all go get it. That's why they blocks me. Those live streams, let's say like I may have, say I'm a small channel, I may have 100 people to come through this live stream. They may not stay the whole length. 100 people, right? But when I notice that I go do a live stream and then when it ends, sometimes it'll say 1,000 views while I'm live, even though they didn't stay. But when I end that live stream and it says 84 people, 52 people, watch the live stream. I know they fucking with the algorithms as well as blackouts. You may not never get a notification from. See, for example, the other thing that I noticed, if you've been around for a little while, let's say I said Friday I was going to go live at 10:10. They like, bullshit. You ain't going to be heard or seen or both. And so I say fuck it. I use my gifts. When I was in church, they called me a prophet. I'm not in the church no more. Now I'm a devil. How do you go from a prophet to a devil? Now y'all figure that one out. What's fascinating is those same people, they ain't in church no more. They ain't pastoring. They ain't missionarying. They ain't evangelist missionary no more. They ain't even. And most of them is really, to be honest with you, if you don't know the origin of Christianity, then you don't know that the origin of Christianity organized form as a cult. Everybody couldn't be a part of Constantine's clique. Most people don't know that. Most people don't know that it was for the elites in Rome. Right? It was all politically based, controlled. And so throughout Rome's history, they come up with these councils. There were several of them, but most people are familiar with the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, in which you had, see, this is when they don't like me. This is when they'll block me, where you had about 200 and some bishops in the Catholic Church. Constantine gets them together and they organize and they come up with a new way of dealing with the masses and the nations as opposed to with war. So they took from their parents, Rome. Who are their parents? Greece. But Greece was more like an atheist country, right? Because Greece philosophers, they look at it like, okay, if we're gonna go down this road of religion, right, then we will have to honor the gods of Kemet, because that's where we got our knowledge from. Y'all call it Egypt, Kemet, okay? So then all your Greek philosophers says, okay, then if we're going to believe in any God, we're going to believe in the God and the system of Kemet, because that's where we got our knowledge from. Why? Alexander goes down here to Kemet, and he and his army, a few soldiers the first time, just to kind of spy out the land like they did over here in the Americas. But anyway, so he goes over, spies out the land. He was like, damn. They got skyscrapers, shit. They got electricity. They got running water. They got gold. They got shit. These people are beautiful. The woman is sitting on the throne. The goddess. Damn, they got high priestesses. Damn, the greatest pharaoh ever to live was a woman. Damn, they use in a system based on balanced energy, feminine energy. How can you create without a seed? How can anything grow without a seed? How can any man come into this 3D outside of the womb? He can, but he ain't gonna be natural. So it was the high priestess. Every pharaoh when they reign, they will have this his statue, this image of the Pharaoh goddess Hathor. And whenever you see these depictions, whereas you see in these old ancient religious images, and then on the left side of that image, towards the bottom somewhere, you're going to see a cow head. That cow head is Hathor. So now when you take, do I have one nearby? Yeah. I'm talking about, and you'll see how I'm going to tie it all in. Why more people are watching tarot. It ain't the tarot that they're watching. Just hold on. So you take an image like this here. So throughout Samaria, throughout Persia, or at least Samaria, the Elamites, throughout Elam, what else? Throughout Ethiopia, South Africa. Most people don't even know that the Ankh was in South Africa before it was in Kemet. But listen, so when you look at this here image, you see the Ankh. Now, this is going to, in short term, in short frame, in just short conversation, this top part, this opening part, that's a womb. That's a portal. It's a portal. It's a womb. Representing the feminine. The most sacred place on the planet is the womb of a woman. There it is. The feminine energy. These are like ovaries, offspring, balance, masculine and feminine. Some like to say the offsprings of children or the child. Then at the bottom, you have the foundation. This is your masculine. This is like an obelisk. And if I take my hand and put it over all of this here bottom portion looks like an obelisk. That's like the Washington Monument, okay? Or in Paris Airport, places like that. This is all ancient Kemet or ancient Nubian, all right? So you had the Unks, it's the masculine. Some like to say it's the penis, in retrospect to the story surrounding Assad and Aset. However, in short, what I'm saying is religion. This is a spiritual system. This is based on Ma'at or Ma'atism. To whereas you're talking about balanced order, you're talking about justice, you understand what I'm saying? All right, so if I take this here, this symbolizes justice as well. There's so many meanings to this here. All right, so this is balance, this is order, reciprocity. This is how we come and go. This is how we come and go, and we travel from one dimension to the next dimension through a womb or a portal. Sometimes it's the womb. All right, now follow this here. So when you take religion, what they have done is they have taken it and flipped the concept, the universal concept. You can't have the sun. Every planetary system, right, has galaxy, right, has whatever, like our system. We got a sun and a moon. All right, it's gonna always be like that. That's a universal order. If you go to Pluto, Pluto got a sun and Pluto got a moon. I promise you. You go to Saturn, I guarantee you there's other planets and moons. There's a moon. Anyway. So the religious system takes it and turns it upside down. What do I mean by that? Because they put the masculine here at the top. They said the man or the masculine is over the feminine. Bullshit. This here, when the masculine is at top, you're gonna always have abortion, or you're gonna have the destruction of children. This is all ancient, universal, spiritual teachings that has stood the test of civilizations. When you have the masculine at the top, the man is over the woman, the man is the head of the house. You're going to always have divorce. You're going to have all kind of shit, folks. I'm just giving you the truth. You're going to have abortions. Why? Because the masculine at the top means laws, control, head over. You got me? So these offsprings, you're going to have problems. The feminine energy, you're going to have problems. So now, since they flipped it, now you see the feminine energy at the bottom, which is supposed to be the foundation, right? The stability. Right? Now listen, watch this here now. That's why you have most women, feminine energy, or women that are the head of households that's making more money than men, especially in the African American community, because they flipped the system. They flipped the order, the universal order. Everything out of whack. In terms of tarot and what I'm talking about, now the universe has shifted in terms, well, it has warp speed into what you call a new spiritual age or era, which is the age of Aquarius. Now that people know, and they try to block people like me, but now that, hit that like button, y'all. Now that people know what's going on, and you become what? Consciously or aware. Some say awaken. Awaken in terms meaning that I know something that I didn't used to know, or now I can explain something that I couldn't once explain. So the universe is putting things back in order. Ain't no man, ain't no woman running shit in Jerusalem. Ain't no woman running shit at Islamic headquarters in Mecca. Ain't no woman running. You ain't never seen no woman pope. And you'll never see a woman president. As long as the masculine is at the top. So the universe has fucked your system, your laws. We got universal systems, orders, and laws. So we're going to force. We're going to show you how we work. We're going to force. We're going to take Pluto, and we're going to kick Pluto, Mama Universe and Pluto. Get your ass over there in the 11th house. It's going to be total transformation and bring shit back to order. Because of all the four elements, fire, water, air, is all in balance now. It's all back in balance. The only thing that's not in balance is the other element of earth. I wish I can teach. The reason why more women today got jobs in the head of household taking care of the children is because of the system is out of order. When you talk in terms of tarot, when you speak in terms of tarot, always remember that's the origin of tarot. That is the origin of tarot. You want to screenshot it? Go ahead. That's the high priestess. That is not a man. You look at it, you see it's not a man. At the top, you see the moon dressing. You see representing the north and the south. Kingdoms, if you will, dynasties of Kemet. Hold on. Can I teach? So when you look at decks and you see this, the most used deck in tarot is the Light Seers deck. You see the High Priestess, Ma'at, Aset, Hathor, Nefertiti. You see the High Priestess. The moon and the womb goes together. Can I say it? Can I teach? See that moon at the top of the head? I just showed it to you up there. The moon and the womb go together. Every woman that I've known of that talks about children, and any midwife that I know of, they can tell by the moon cycles when you gonna have that baby. And when they tell you the exact date, and you be thinking that they just great and they just all knowing and all seeing, they go by the moon cycle. They going by the moon cycle. So there's what you call the Bembine. B-E-M. I've shared this before. In fact, I had to explain the version of tarot that I'm mostly connected to because it's a form of divination, okay? But I'm more connected to the version of the origin, the Bembine tablets, based on the divine feminine, the high priestess, the moon and the womb. Not Milan, Italy, in 14th, 15th century AD. Nah. So the way I read energy, to most people that consider me a tarot reader, they said, no, that don't mean that. Well, you basing it on 72 cards, and I'm basing it on 54 cards. And stone, and tablet. And you're basing it on a mindset that the man or the masculine is the head of the woman. That's bullshit. Now, as long as you believe it, now I'm looking for my king, I don't mind being, don't you never submit, man or woman, don't you never submit as a human totally to somebody else. And don't you never put nobody the head over you. Period. Ain't nobody the head. Together you can't do shit without the other. Without each other, do what you can. But ain't no head. That shit got to be balanced. So in terms of tarot, why are more people watching tarot? It's not the tarot, folks. It's the stories. It's the stories. I remember people used to say, I'm finna go, don't bother me, I'm finna go and watch my story. They be talking about soap operas. And these soap operas supposed to be based on real life shit, but on an elite or, people that's got money. But the people ain't got the money, they can relate to it. Or if you call it lifetime television for women, that's a form of tarot. When the preacher or the imam or that man, whoever, behind a pulpit is talking and telling y'all, they telling y'all a story. But the most time that they talk about story, they gonna talk about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They gonna talk about Jesus. They gonna talk about Moses. They ain't gonna talk about none of the women, the wives. Every now and then they'll throw in Mary. They'll talk about Esther a little bit. They'll talk about Mary Magdalene a little bit. But for the most part, they talking about Daniel and the lion's den and shit, right? They talking about the masculine energy. So they created in 325 AD, Constantine. During a council, Nicene, before the other one in 1313, in 325 AD. And that's where they created a character based on either Titus, based on either based on either Tahuti, what you call thought, okay, based on polygamy, based on all the other stories about a risen Savior on December 25th. It's a whole bunch of them. This is just their version. That's why when you look at the Bible, it'll say King James Version, right? So when you take tarot, if you was watching that movie, The 10 Commandments, and you got the Pharaoh and Moses, and they battling it up. What does the Pharaoh tells Moses? He goes and he summons. He says, "Bring me all of my magicians. Bring me all of my psychics. Bring me all of my priests and my high priestesses. Bring me all of them." And then they began to perform what is called in the Egyptian culture Heku, the ancient Kemetic culture, Heku, which is magic. And then you see the snakes, right? Listen at this shit now. All of your spirit, all of your religion is based on this here teachings in Kemet, in Samaria. You don't have nothing else left on the planet of ancient time other than these here. Sumerian text, and Egyptian text. Coptic, whatever. Now listen. So all that was created, the story of Jesus, to usher in the Council of Nicene. Constantine and these here 200 and some bishops. Now you got the masculine running a feminine church or organization or institution. A spiritual system based on Ma'at, a spiritual system based on the high priestess energy. They don't even call, and tarot, you have a high priestess card. But the equivalent of the high priestess on the masculine side is a high priest. So they don't call it the high priest. They call it the Hierophant. So right there, you got to be looking at this here. Every time I see the Hierophant, the first thing I see is someone, energy that's connected to Source God, and it is the offspring or the counterpart or the parallel of the high priestess. You can't have a unbalanced deck to where you got a high priestess and you don't have no high priest. Why? Because the high priest want to show up as the head in modern day tarot. But they'll put the feminine on the card. They'll give you Lady Justice. They'll give you Lady Justice, but from a masculine man perspective. You can't have both. That's why it's all fucked up and crazy out here. Now, why do more people now are watching tarot? I'm gonna need y'all help on this here. And to keep it real and to keep it raw, it's early in the morning. Shit, some of y'all gotta get up, go to work. I understand. But really, check this here out. You ask yourself that question first. Why do you come to these mediums to listen to people tell stories using cards? Why do you go to church on Sunday morning to listen to a preacher tell story using another form of paper or divination? Because it's something on paper. This is paper. There are images on here. So it depends on the images and the statements and the phrases that's on the card that resonate with you, not the person. What a person resonate with you is their truth and their honesty, integrity, especially if they are not religious minded. Some of your most gifted tarot readers, if you will, are going to be people that are more spiritual, universal, conceptual thinking, as opposed to religion. Because they know if you want to talk about universe, and that's what we're talking about with tarot, astrology. When you're talking about universe, you cannot start out by saying the man is over the woman. Masculine first. When you do that, everything else you say in your concept, your intuition is off. If you, I'm telling you, if you accept religious cults as your determining factor when you come up with interpretations of spiritual matters, you off. You can't, it's like mixing water and oil. You cannot mix religion with spirituality. You can't. You can't. You can't say you're a spiritual being that's being controlled and led by two other physical beings or two other beings, a devil and Jesus. You can't, or any other of the so many different saviors. Before there was a created individual called Jesus. You can't. So with tarot, a lot of people are watching tarot now, more and more people, not because they never watched it. Even before there was social media and even before there was television, there was always somebody in a community, in an area, mostly a woman in most cases, that people would go to get answers to questions, to get advice. All of your world leaders, including your presidents, before they go to war, to battle, or making huge decisions, they will go and talk to their spiritual advisor, if you will. Trump, before he went to war with Iran, he got this crazy ass, I'm gonna say it like this here. He got this crazy ass damn lady named Paula White coming in there laying hands on his head and shit in the Oval Office and shit, and they and saying that he's doing some of the same thing he done suffered like Christ, and they tried to kill him 3 times. All this, man, I'm telling you, this shit crazy, man. But they really believe this shit. Now he got the whole damn world all fucked up. Listen to who? His spiritual advisor, Paula White. If you don't know the history of it, I ain't finna talk about nobody. But now listen. So now, in your personal life, 90-some% of the people that comes to me, or any reader, to take advantage of our gifts or services are people that are Christians, Muslims, or Hebrew. 90-some%. You know why? One is because in the books that they're being taught to live by, can't nobody live by them. You can't. Know why you struggle. That's why everybody always got to go back and repent. Why you got to keep repenting this shit? Just stop doing this shit. I went to the club Saturday night and I met this sick guy. And you know, one thing led to another. And cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha on Saturday night. And then on Sunday morning, Lord, I want you to forgive me for what I did last night. You living in boo-boo world. You living in a make-believe world. God, I want you to forgive me for what I did last week. Go back the next week, do the same goddamn thing. Why you worried about going to hell? If you know you're going to go and do the same damn, you're going back to that same damn club, you're going to meet another man or a woman and repeat. And then there's somebody up here watching you. Watching 8 billion people. You know he watching. And then gonna say, God forgive me. That's why the world fucked up. When you take that mindset that you can go out and do anything you want to and your God got your back, your God gonna forgive. That's why the world messed up. So people, I think more and more people now, I was shocked. Hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. I was shocked when I first saw tarot on social media. That used to be of the devil. But I used to know all these here folks growing up as a little kid. Used to go and see these little old ladies. And I'm talking about pastors, I'm talking about city council people, I'm talking about business people, I'm talking about attorneys, doctors, the mayor, every goddamn body. But they wouldn't let this person come. They wouldn't let these people come to their churches and teach and help people. Now they want to do it behind. That's the cult side of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, all religion. There's a side. But the foundation is messed up. It's out of order. The universe is getting it back in order. All right. So why do y'all watch tarot? That's the question. Drop it in the comment. You can call. Why do y'all watch tarot? I remember this lady. And I use this as a reference sometimes. Man, you know how many church folk used to stay up late at night and watch. It was Cleo and it was this other white lady. And they would stay up all night long watching this lady, waiting on that lady to get to their zodiac sign. Right? But if you have the gift, the universal spiritual gift to interpret downloads, you're not going to be liked by the general population because of your raw authenticity. Meaning that the shit sounds so real that I need to do something about it. I'm just being honest with you. So within the past, I would say, I don't know, because I don't know when it all first happened, but when I first saw it, I think it was in 2018 when I first 2018, 2019. I always knew about tarot, but it was the first time because I know that is connected to those individuals in the religious community that I was a part of called Christianity, a prophet or a prophetess, right? However, so when I saw it, I was like, so they letting people come live on and do tarot readings? They letting witches and they letting warlocks and they letting all kind, they just got it wide open? Damn. That's this here age of Aquarius. That's the universe has shifted. That's the consciousness and the awareness and the awakening of a lot of people to say, you know what? Shit. I listened to Pastor Knuckle for a while, and I can't go to Pastor Knuckle and talk about some of the things that's happening in my life because they're gonna think I'm evil, or I'm of the devil, or they're gonna say, well, you been coming to church regularly? Have you been paying your tithes and your offerings? Have you been praying? You like, look, man, I'm trying to tell you about some motherfucking problems I got. I ain't talking about tithes and offering right now. I need to talk. It's some spiritual shit. It's some crazy shit going on, mate. Well, I tell you what. Make sure you come back Sunday or Wednesday and come down to the altar. And we gonna pray for you. Man, look, man. I got some motherfucking problems. And I don't think it. Oh man. That's the way it is. Tarot to me is me taking my gift, having fun, helping people. Honestly. Because so many people now realize that, wait a minute, something going on either with my family. You remember some shit from growing up in your family. You remember some shit growing up all the way to your adult life with your friends, your first friend, all the way up to now. And you remember some shit with lovers and husbands and wives that you couldn't put together when you was with their ass. And some of y'all even remember shit from past lifetime. You didn't learn this here at church. This shit didn't come by way of church. For most of y'all, in these day and time, it came by way of you stumbled across a channel like mine. Or you stumbled across a TV channel years ago. And you heard about tarot. Hold on for a minute, y'all. And then you just start, and you heard something. You heard something. And you don't know that person. And you like, wait a minute. He's saying some shit or she's saying some shit that I know. I don't know them. And it sounds like my story. Somebody done tapped into your energy field. Or they received a message or a download, right? Or a dream. And they was willing to share it and don't ask you for no money. Because back in the day, these women, or mostly, and some men, you didn't go to them for free. Because they knew that you're going to take all your money and give it to the church, to the mosque, to the temple, and they can't help you. So the little bit that you give to Cleo, You go to a therapist, you pay all kind of money. Go get all kind of counseling. So Cleo know when you come to her, is beyond whatever. And she know if she told you and gave you some information for the free, you're going to go back and you're going to give all the money to the pastor and he can't help you. Why? Because he watching Cleo. Or she watching Cleo. On the low. How much you want to bet? How can they say that Cleo was evil and they don't know nothing about it? You got to go watch her to know that she's evil. No, it's just what she ain't doing no more than your ass doing. Period. I don't know this lady, of course. I'm only saying this here because she was one of the few sisters on TV helping people. One of the brothers, now he used church or religion, but he did it differently. And that was Reverend Ike. Everybody thought Reverend Ike was crooked. Now everybody like Reverend Ike. All right, so why do you watch? One thing that connects, if you notice, you very seldom see me pick up the tarot deck first. Because I know that tarot, this version, is of the Roman Church. Period. So, anyway, it's of the Roman Church. But I use mostly astrological. When I throw the dice, this ain't of the church. If I pick up an oracle deck or my own personal oracle decks, it's not of the church. When I talk about universe, when I talk about past life, that's not of the church. Even though the Bible in the beginning is based on an astrological event, a cosmic event you call creation. It is not religious. The story has been told in so many different languages and so many different times and so many different versions until you don't know what to believe. Right? Because Christianity is telling you that this planet, this earth and creation and all this shit is only 6,000 some years old. That's it. 6,000? You got dynasties in Kemet or in Egypt that predates religion by thousands of years. It ain't like a group of people, European people, just popped on the planet and they figured out everybody's goddamn religion and shit. And they figured out everything. And some God in the sky, they always having visions and dreams and shit in caves and on battlefields and shit, right? And they get a message. And then now they done started a whole cult following. And that's what's wrong with the planet. Based on masculine leadership, male leadership. So that means they got everything out of order. So more people are watching tarot because it resonates with the questions. Certain readers and what they're saying, it resonates with certain questions that you might have. Let's get us a universal message. Let's get us a universal message. So why do y'all watch tarot? Y'all drop some comment. It always been a gift and a curse. Now, it can be a curse if anytime your intentions, anytime your intent is evil or to do harm to somebody, you can call it a curse. Because what energy you putting out there to harm somebody, mislead somebody, deceive somebody, spell, whatever you want to call it. You've chosen the dark side of what some will call reality. Now, if you taking your gifts and you using it to help humanity, if you will, that's different. There's a blessing in it, right? It's kind of strange how that most people, I don't do a lot of readings no more because most people, they have this here set mindset on what they're going to believe or what they're going to accept, right? Being not only that, you got to factor in free will. Then not only that, when you exchanging energy and you pulling off of people's energy and you interacting with someone energetically, not personally, none of this other shit, then you can feel your virtue or your energy being drained because some people are so dark. Their heart is so heavy. So much hurt, so much grief, so much this, so much trauma, so much this, so much regret. And then you got to deal with that in terms of you feel it, especially if you're an empath. So you either want to do that or you don't, because people are not going to appreciate you. People out here that's using their gifts freely to help people, you're going to stop doing that. Stop doing that. And it's, for me, it's not that I don't do a lot of readings now because people don't want to pay for even your time. They just think that you should just do it. They don't even want to consider your time. That's why I'm glad I don't have a super chat. The people that I help, I'll be honest with you, when I'm not live, far outweighs. I come here to come here. But the people that contacts me, that know me, and they come in person, because I got other little local advertisement things that I do. I approach it as a session. So if I'm counseling you and I'm a therapist, there are therapists out here charging $1,000 an hour. They may give you that first hour free. You go see an attorney, they may give you that first hour free, called free consultation, right? They give you that first hour free, but you're paying for 2 hours. You're paying for that free hour. You're paying for that first hour, that second hour, and you get the free one. That free hour, they just listening to you tell them about your situation or your story, whether it's an attorney, whoever it is. But if you can come into my office, you ain't got to tell me shit. If my gift is my gift, you ain't got to tell me shit. Let's get right down to business. I can feel your presence. I can feel your energy when you come in. You don't have to tell me nothing. That's why I can go and do a live stream all the time and tell you what I feel, what I see. Then that way you'll know if it's your story after the fact. But if you come to me and say, Ivory, this is what's going on in my life, and then I come and say, okay, this is what you need to do. Well, you should be able to diagnose that. Why? Because they've already told you the situation. And if you got experience with dealing with in conversation with people based on these type of situations this person is dealing with, then yeah, you ain't really doing nothing. That person can go within and get answers. But if it's something outside of that, You should know. So more people are watching tarot today because, one, they resonate with certain people and they was drawn by a story or what you call a reading or a message, right? And some people watch tarot to get answers. Universal message, and we're going to get out of here right quick. Wish come true. So that's the 11th house is Aquarian energy. You're in for a lucky break. It may come as happy news, experience, new opportunity, or an exciting acquaintance. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. It is not a coincidence, but a gift from the universe. Bottom of the day, clarity, and it's going to cause some kind of change. So people who are using their gifts, if I was to say, okay then, and don't use no cards, and I ask the universe a question on behalf of everybody, I'm going to get an answer. I'm going to get an answer every time. Because it's not so much God or somebody trusts me. It's just that with your intuitive gifts and a message of concern from an individual, you can call them Aquarian, then your spirit team is a combination of things. Your spirit team, your experiences, your wisdom, your knowledge, all of this here comes into play. So even without the cards, that's when you're really helping people. It's just that these cards are like a teaching aid or a flashcard. You know, 1 + 1 is 2, 1 × 1 is 1, but really it's not. But anyway, so you understand what I'm saying? So the message, if I'm asking spirit, what messages, what's the most important thing that somebody needs to know right now? Wish come true. You in for a lucky break. End of story. Now, if you want to know more, then that person, say quote unquote Cleo, that person, that tarot reader will probably come back and say, okay then, so you want to know more. So what is it that you're trying to acquire? Or what is it that you really want to accomplish? Or why do you feel like you have a lucky break? Or you might ask me the question, so what is that lucky break then? Then now I do this. I don't use the cards, and I can just ask spirit the question that you just asked me. What's the lucky break? Because at the top of this card, it's talking about you're in for a lucky break. It may come as happy news, experience, or whatever. So spirit is telling you what some of the lucky reasons for the lucky break or the answers to the lucky break. So I'm going to use tarot. And that's what people like. Spirit, what is this lucky break that the general listener, the collective, is in for? What is this happy news? What is this here new experience? What are these new opportunities? What is this here exciting acquaintance? What is this wish come true? What do you need to know about the 11th house? And get an answer for you. Your lucky break, wish come true, is you and two people, you and somebody else is about to come together. Now the 2 of Cups, it doesn't mean you two people coming together as lovers. Not all the time. Two of Cups is more like a soulmate energy. You have thousands of those in a lifetime. It's just two people coming together, celebrating or agreeing on something. You got me? Here it says moderation, patience, flowing, self-realization, manifestation, get away, taking action. You're in for a lucky break. So you and somebody might be coming together. Sometimes Two of Cups can be even past life, right? Because it has to do with contracts or agreements. So you could be coming into contact with somebody from a past life, right? Agreement. And it's always somebody else standing there. So it's the third energy here. There's always somebody else saying, what's this lucky break though? So we got a Two of Cups so far. I don't know who is lurking in the background. That could be somebody that's wishing to get to tell you something, or if they can get another chance. I don't know. Seven of Wands is a tricky energy. It's Leo energy too. You can't hide it. Ace of Staff. So somebody, you and somebody, yo, lucky break is you and somebody when you come together. Y'all might come together to agree or come together. It's a contract or something. Or come together with some sort of idea. Some kind of creation, some kind of idea. So you and somebody else. And with the wish come true, it could be something that you've always wanted and this other person wants too. Because the wand represents manifestation. So now this wish come true, lucky break, is two people coming together. But there's somebody else that wish that they can or they want to or whatever, right? Standing, on the outside, kind of looking in, wishing for something. Ace of Staff. I can't make this shit up. You and somebody else, you're hoping and wishing to meet somebody new. Come together, whatever, exchange ideas, yada, yada, yada. And there's somebody else standing on the outside looking, hoping and wishing that they get another chance. Because the Seven of Staff came right back out. Somebody's struggling, though. Clarity. You're not a victim of your circumstances. Rather, I'm reading this here bottom card. You're not a victim of your circumstances. Rather, you're a beneficiary of it. If that wasn't the case, life would be dull. It says you will set yourself up for success in the long run if you are willing to adapt to this shift. Everything is working out for the best. At long last, you are accomplishing what you set out to do. Everything will work out perfectly in the end. Wish come true. Clarity. 555. I think that there's another energy. As you connect or cross paths, Two Cups, soulmate with somebody else. This could be somebody new. That's somebody else. See how this person is holding the Ace of Wands? But that Six of Wands let me know that somebody is watching you and they like what they see. Hoping and wishing that they can get back in on the other side of that. You're not emotionally attached to that with this water, to this other person. They got to come across. They're at a distance from you. But you are emotionally detached. Back there is where you are on the other side. So they're hoping and wishing. But they know that they are emotionally detached from you. Ace of Staff, Seven of Staff. Wish come true. What's this here lucky break? So somebody's hoping and wishing that they can get back in good standing. I want y'all to pay attention to this here. You see this here Ace of Staff. That's a hand holding it, but you don't see a face. Here you see a face holding the hand, and the hand holding the Ace of Wands or the Ace of Staff, right? And the Ace of Staff, Ace of Wands, you see the pyramids in the background. You see the same pyramids in the background. But somebody at a distance from you, you're emotionally detached, physically or emotionally, or both. Ace of Staff, Seven of Staff. Wish come true. What's this here lucky break all the time? Somebody hoping and wishing, man. 5. Somebody's hoping and wishing they can get back in good graces with you. You're hoping and wishing. Some of y'all might want to return to this person, but somebody's hoping and wishing for something new. Somebody's hoping and wishing that they can return, but they know it's going to take more. And then look at this water again. Now this person's on their knee with this 5 of coins or this 5 of pentacles. This person could have, whoever this is hoping and wishing that they can get back in good graces with you. Just the physical detachment. They can't touch or feel you. Wands is touchy-feely. Staff, Wands is touchy-feely. Water is emotions, feelings, moon energy. Bottom of the deck. Can't make this here shit up. This person got a wild side. And they let their emotions get the best of them sometimes. So, from a tarot perspective, before we had any cards on the table, we based this here on an Oracle Universal message that I generally ask the universe. And we got wish come true. I asked Spirit, what is this wish come true? This lucky break. We saw the 2 of Cups and an Ace of Wands or Ace of Staff, right? So now, from a tarot perspective, no pastor, no leader, no religious leader, no preacher, no imam, no rabbi, no pope, no bishop, no cardinal is going to sit up and talk to you or share this information with you like this here. The first thing they're going to tell you is God and Jesus and Allah and Buddha and Krishna. You got to get your life right with them first. In order to have this wish come true, you need to pay your tithes more. You need to come to church more. You need to come to the temple more. They ain't got shit to do with what's on the table. They ain't got shit to do with what's going on in your life. Now watch this here. Another reason why. Now I'm going to use a lice here, another deck to clarify. So now, if I was to just stick to this here one card, then yeah, there's a message for somebody. And that message is a wish come true. You in for a lucky break. And we can end it. Never need no tarot. If you're going to use the tarot, you got to make sure that you're not of a cult mindset. A religious mindset that says, in other words, if I say I'm a Christian, then you know that in Christianity, they're going to tell you what? Man is the head of the house. The masculine is the head of the feminine. That's automatically off balance. So what information you share is going to be based on that mindset. That's why you have to separate the tarot. I'd rather say I'm an energy reader, not a tarot reader. I'm going to read the energy. I'm going to read the room. I'm going to read the aura. I'm going to read your energy. And if your energy is foul, I'm going to tell you. Well, first and foremost, you got to clean up your heart. Your heart heavy. Wish come true. So I'm going to use another tarot card. This is why people watch tarot, for messages. What is this wish come true? Somebody want to free themselves. Somebody's hoping and wishing that they can free themselves. Somebody got a totally different outlook on it. Now you can go for what you want. But at one point in time, you were stuck. Somebody's actually praying to God. Here's the high priest, not the high priestess. Remember I was telling y'all, the hierophant in tarot is the high priestess or the high priest. This is the high priestess. You got to have both of them. You can't have a high priest in a tarot deck and don't have a high priest. You can't. So somebody's been basically pursuing something based on their intuition on a higher spiritual level, not physical. The physical aspects of the high priest or the high priestess is the empress and the emperor. That's the 3D. Okay? Somebody is praying. Somebody now has a totally different outlook. Your intuition is clear. You know what you want to do. We clarifying wish come true. Now you're ready to go for it. And you've talked to your higher self, or if you're religious, you've talked to God. You've had a conversation with God. Or you've had a conversation with your higher self, because we are all gods. I don't want to throw nobody off. Hold on. We don't even go there. I don't want to throw you off. The God that you pray to and you look for is within you first. Right? Wish come true. And we're going to go cards right in a row. Somebody is hoping and wishing to meet somebody. And somebody else is hoping and wishing to come back and apologize. Ace of Staff. Temperance, whether it's a Sagittarius or not. Somebody either want to make peace with you from the past, if it's a third energy. And not only that, if it's somebody new, you and this person, y'all are divine. This is going to be a divinely protected connection, 2 of Cups, with you and somebody else. It's fated. Just like the card said, from the universe. Remember I told y'all the 6 of Wands? So in other words, what I'm saying is that whoever this person is from the past, that you are no longer emotionally, that's a gate. That's a barrier. Your emotions. You're protecting your emotions. Moon energy. This person, remember I told you, he's holding the Ace of Wands, it's masculine. On the outside looking in at that pyramid where you at, so to speak. Emotionally detached. But I said they watching y'all. See how this person is looking at those pyramids? Because this is 6 of Wands energy, whether they're watching you online. And what do I get? Clarifying 6 of Wands. So somebody's definitely watching, hoping and wishing to get victory with you, to make things right with you, and they see that you're getting attention, at least from one other person, or 2 of Cups. Intuitively, telepathically, they're communicating with you because you once shared an agreement, or 2 of Cups, a contract, a connection with them. So you still connected to them as far as they are concerned energetically. 5 of Coins, 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. It's this here person. So they could be a water sign out here. Clarity. I got this 5 right here. So there could be a water sign out here that's really, really missing you. Waldo. Around here we call him Waldo. See all those fives? Five of Pentacles, five of Coins, five of Cups. Waldo. Sad. Lost. Missed opportunity. And then now we got this Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. We're going to end it. It came right back out. Y'all saw me cut and shuffle these cards. Hangman in reverse. So, regardless of what this person say, think. I think with this major arcana, you're done. You freed yourself. You see whatever this here person is totally different. They see you different. That once was, but not now. And that's what somebody's dealing with. Your wish come true is going to happen. So if you've been desiring and wishing for what? An exciting acquaintance. You're going to meet this person. It says you'll find yourself in the right place at the right time. It's not a coincidence, but a gift from the universe. This person back here, whoever this is in the Seven of Wands energy, they're just going to have to deal with the fact that it's not going to happen. They can boo-hoo and cry. They can wish because why? You are no longer emotionally attached. I know, bottom of the deck, you detached. And if it's a sword energy, it's nothing that this person can say or think that matters to you no more. And they know that. That's why they feel the way that they feel, left behind, pity party, boo-hooing and crying. Five of Pentacles. See that person on their knees praying? Because it could have been Pentacles, if you will, that they was attached to begin with. So it could have been something that you had or something that you had to offer, something you brought to the table. To where now they're not. Now it's getting late now, and we are going to end this here. But I wanted to come back, and I'm going to come back again when it's more people not sleep, so to speak. I just wanted to do this in here because they didn't let me go live Friday at 10:10. Because yesterday, Saturday, and Sunday, I knew I was busy. See, they got the World Cup in town. You know I got to sling some dogs. I just go to work. Just as simple as that. Just go to work. Ain't no question. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts. Man, get up. Hey, you got people all over the world here. Let them eat them doggone dogs, right? And so that I knew that, but I'm like, okay, so they don't want me to go live. Okay, so ain't shit I can do about it. I just wanted y'all to know that just like you know and I know, more and more people are watching tarot. And this is going to be the #1 form of divination in the future, as opposed to people going to church, talking to their pastors, talking to therapists, talking to imams, talking to rabbis, talking to bishops, talking to cardinals. People now are really going outside of their traditional belief system to get answers, is what I'm also saying. And tarot is kind of like in the future. Because with AI and with religion, you're not going to know what to believe no more. Because as we go further into this new age, if you will, of Aquarius, 2100 and some years, cycle, if you will, more and more people are going to not so much denounce, some will, but more and more people are going to just not be going to religious leaders or part of institutions because it's just so damn corrupt. Not to mention, if you go and research the origin, especially in this country, Christianity, you're going to find out that the true origin of Christianity, they don't even tell you about. That's like a secret society. That's a cult. Only a few people know. Only a few people know that there's nobody coming back in the sky to get you. And the same people that know ain't nobody coming back in the sky to get you, they're the ones that's writing this stuff, and they're the ones that's teaching this stuff, and they're the ones that's the head of these religions, the masculine. So why would they tell you the truth when they can get 10% of every damn thing? More than that, but they gonna get 10% of your hard earnings every single week. They gonna live good. The Vatican is happy. Mecca is happy. Jerusalem is happy. Washington, D.C. is happy. Everybody getting filthy, funky rich. They happy. But they got you believing that you got to wait for yours. You got to suffer. And now a lot of people are like, nah, I ain't buying that no more. Let me go here and hear Brother Ivory. Brother Ivory, I need some money. I'm going to show you how to attract it. Not the money. How to attract and manifest what you need, your wishes. I'm going to show you how to attract. You ain't got to go out and get money. I'm going to show you how you attract it. It's going to require you to do something, but I can show you how you can attract it. You got to change that mindset. Number one, right out of the gate. If you want wish come true, you're going to have to change your mindset. You're going to have to see shit from a totally different perspective and then go for it. Free your mind. Change the way you think. Change the way you attract. Hell, if you feel like I got to go out and get me a job and bust my ass to get what I need to get, if that's how you manifest, go out and find you a job, bust your ass, and over time you're gonna get it. But you don't have to go like that. I'm not finna go out here no more and bust my ass just to track what I need. No. I can't think like that no more. I'll never go nowhere. I'll never accomplish. I accomplished shit, I'm 80 years old, 90 years old. Oh, no. So you drop a comment even if the live is over with. Why are more people watching tarot? Because it's by the hundreds of millions worldwide every day. Every day. And like I say, people will go and give to these religious institutions, these counselors, these therapists, these doctors, these attorneys. Okay, then fine. But we got to come and say for entertainment purposes. I say that because they want me to say that shit. Other than that, they're going to block me. Because why? I didn't go to their school and learn they bullshit no more. I'm serious. And when you unlearn that shit and they see you done unlearn that shit and you doing better, okay, then he done figured some shit out. But we can't let him, just because he figured it out, we can't let the masses figure this here shit out, because why? You'll never need their asses no more. You'll never need them. You know it's screwed up out here when they allow somebody like Elon Musk to become a trillionaire. You know it's screwed up out here when they let a 34 count convicted, crazy ass person run this here country, supposedly the most powerful, richest country on the planet, and we got an idiot in there. That lets you know how, if you believe in God, that lets you know right there, your God is mocking you. Say, look, America, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all, I'm gonna show y'all how messed up y'all are. I'm gonna let Trump be your president. That's a mockery. That's a slap in the face by God. This who I'm gonna let be y'all president. That's it. Don't complain about him. Don't complain about his hoonies, his little clique, all of his elite pieces of bullshit. Don't complain about nothing, because I'm going to show y'all a reflection of America. Trump is a reflection of America. You just don't know how much people behind the scene is screwing us. Is screwing the masses. Is screwing people. America's been screwing people, been using people, been massacring people, been killing people, been stealing from people ever since. When I say the America, I'm talking about the system. They've been doing this here shit day one. They done started a whole, superpower. They became a superpower by lying, stealing, killing, genociding, murdering, raping, bullshit ass laws that only protect a certain group of people. They became great off the backs of people. And you call yourself great. Now the table is turning spiritually, universally. And you see America and Europe falling, crashing. It's going to be fucked up out here. Good. I'm glad. I want the whole system to just come falling, tumbling down. Stock market, every goddamn thing. Whatever y'all want, reset this shit. I don't care if you scared, stay in the house. Because it's going to get ugly out here. And only the strong is going to be able to survive. And when it gets real, real hard, and you waiting on somebody to come and help you from the sky, it's not going to happen. Ain't nobody coming back for you now. I can tell you that because I know that. Not because I believe that. I know ain't nobody coming to crack no sky to get you. And take you where? For what? I'm just being honest with you. And more and more people are becoming awakened to this here, watching channels like this here. Or listen, or getting information and getting knowledge like this here. I don't care where you get it from, just get it. And apply it. Don't just get it and sit on it. Get it and apply it. Tarot is a form of divination that if you apply it, it's like if a preacher tell you, come go to church, start going to church, pay your tithe, pay your offering, get baptized, seek the Holy Ghost, live a decent life, pay your tithe for the rest of your life, and you go by that plan. And God gonna open up, the windows of heaven, pull you out a blessing that you ain't gonna have room enough to receive it. Some of y'all been tithing for decades, and that window ain't opened up yet. I'm just being honest with you now. You know that window ain't opened up for your ass. We'll see y'all in the next video. We're going to come back and do a part 2. That way y'all can call in. It's just late right now. Now I'm going to leave. I just got back in town. About 11 o'clock. So I said, let me go on up here. I owe them one. And let me explain to them why they wouldn't let me go live Friday. They would not let me go. Somebody's going to get their wish, though. Somebody's going to get their wish. Whoever if you and this person that you're getting ready to cross paths with, okay, if y'all keep it simple, the sky's the limit. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Don't rush to the bedroom first when you see 2 of cups, right? Keep it simple, because y'all going to come up with some ideas and collaborate on some projects. You ain't got to worry about nobody stealing your ideas. Ace of Staff, Ace of Wands, because it's protected. If you by yourself, you ain't got to worry about nobody. You just need to do something. If you want this wish to come true, wands are action. You're going to have to do something to make it happen. There's a bunch of wands on the table. All right? See y'all in the next video. Peace. Subscribe. Hit that like button. Peace.